All right, welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers, fellas. I'm sitting here looking at the end of week 5, looking through several different things. One, this team that's on the page right now, Random City Sports Ballers, the first draft I had, still suffering from injuries. So they went from 10th place, and they're going to be moving down. I mean, these are not great numbers. These pitching's not bad, but the ERA and WHIP are tragic, and the batting numbers are not good at all. But, I mean, I'm suffering injuries. So they went from 10th place down to 11th place. And when these players come back, that's going to change. You might be letting your hopes go. Oh, gosh, Look at your injuries when those players come back. We're going to come up on one here soon that I want to talk about. But let's move on. So that's one team out of the playoffs. Here's the second team, Random City Sports Ballers C6. Remember, last week they were in 9th. Before that, they were in 11th or 10th, I think. Slowly moving their way up because another good week. And so we're just a game, actually a half a game out of 6th place. So we're right there at the edge of the playoffs. Some good batting numbers, real good pitching numbers. I'm happy with this team. I'm happy with this team. Love this name. Trank Zombie Street Rats. That's a hilarious name for a team. Okay, so with this team, it's my standard fellas, except that I picked up Paxton for some injuries here. Like, this is a team where I drafted Spencer Strider, and I'm overcoming that. I had drafted Tyler Wells, who wasn't doing great anyways, and I replaced him. Paul Skeens is here taking up an empty spot on my roster. Then we've got Tyler Anderson, Luis Castillo, Bailey Ober, Kevin Gausman. Lots of relievers. Lots of relievers, fellas. I'm rocking 6 relievers here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closers in the mix. So I got 5 saves this week, and it's helping out a ton. But yeah, this is a team that I am happy with moving up. Right? That's what's supposed to happen. You move forward. On to the next one. This is F2, which has had another bad week. We don't need to discuss. These aren't terrible. They're not great batting numbers, decent pitching numbers, but this team is having a rough time. Right now, they just fell to 11th place on that 1-8 loss. So we've got 3 teams out of the playoffs right now. All right, so here's C3. They fall to 9th place. But keep in mind, C6, they're on the edge. They're 7th place, a half a game out. So I'm feeling good about that. But anyways, this is my 4th team not in the playoffs. And this is one I want to talk about because this is an injury issue again. So let's go over and talk about how this team went with the draft, okay? Look at my draft here. Random City Sports Ballers C3. I'm over on the right. I had Mookie Betts, Pete Alonso, and Francisco Lindor for my first 3 picks. Great picks, right? Glasnow's working out fine. But then look what happens. This is where the wheels fall off, fellas. Pick 5, Devin Williams, injured. Pick 6, Framber Valdez, injured. Pick 7, Blake Snell, injured. Pick 8, Justin Steele, injured. Down here, Shane Bieber out for the season. Jake Berger, injured. So while this team had all the pieces got broken a little bit. But we're starting to come back. Justin Steele will be back here, I believe, tomorrow. So now the team is going to get some help on the way. When Valdez comes back, when Snell comes back, help is on the way here, guys. So I don't feel bad about what's happening. I know what happened. It's injuries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major injuries, guys. That's hard to overcome. Okay, Shane Bieber, he was doing great for where he started. But anyways, okay, let's move back over here to C. That's our 4th team that's not in the playoffs. They're in 9th place. So we've got one that's on the edge, though. All right, on to the next team, C2. C2 stays in 3rd place, C2 stays in 3rd place with a great record. Good week, good numbers across the board. I'm pretty happy with it. And down to a bad week on Random City Sports Ballers letter C. We fall from 4th place to 5th place on that. Fell from 4th to 5th. I don't like the ERA and WHIP. Wins and saves are low. Strikeouts, wow, he had a lot of innings. But I don't feel bad about this team. I think they'll be fine. Random City Sports Ballers W is in second place. Empire Strikes Out falls to third place from second place. Oh, wow, the runs are low. Some good numbers there. Random City Sports Ballers, letter F. They are in first place. Random City Sports Ballers C5, first place. Random City Sports Ballers C4, sixth place. Random City Sports Ballers F3, first place. And last but not least, Random City Sports Ballers WK. That stands for With Keith, by the way. That's the other half of the Random City Sports Ballers. He drafted this one with me. So we are in second place. We moved up to second place. On a 4 and 5 loss, we moved up to second place. That's interesting. We're still tied for second, I guess. So anyways, at the end of week 5, you can take some of these losses and go, oh, I'm terrible. I drafted bad. Well, I kind of drafted bad if you say to yourself, he should have foreseen the injuries. Well, you can't foresee the injuries. Wow, this one's amazing. I got 9 stolen bases. And guys, did I draft for stolen bases? No, I don't even look at stolen bases. I got 9. That's crazy. But good numbers everywhere else, too. Except average. But I don't draft for average, so that's fine. But anyhow. Excuse me. Don't look too hard on yourself for some of these, especially early season injury-plagued teams. So I've got 4 teams that are out of the playoffs. One of those is in 7th place and only out by a half a game. And that means 9 teams are in the playoffs. So we are just below, 75% is the threshold of making the playoffs. But that's not where we're at. We're suffering some injuries right now. This is just an early season thing. It's only May. This is the first week of May. We still got June, July, August. We've still got a long time. So don't let yourself get down about these bad teams. If you've drafted more teams than that, you know that you're sitting here looking going, oh yeah, these guys are doing fine. They're not suffering injuries. This team doing fine, even though they lost this week. They're not suffering injuries. Not suffering. So that's why I've told you before. I've learned to never have any player on more than about half of my teams. No matter how good or bad I think they will do, I do not put them on all of my teams because you set yourself up to where all of your teams could look the same and they could all look like this one that is suffering so bad from injuries. You don't want that. Then you got all of your teams out of the playoffs. So, make sure you stay focused on that when you're doing your drafting. This right here is a good lesson in that. These 3 teams that are really suffering from injuries, it hurts. And you don't want that to be across the board. So make sure that you're continuing on, looking over the waivers. There's some fellas that I picked up. You know about Skeens. You know about him. I picked up Jake Cronenworth here for second base. What else did I pick up on this particular team? Torkelson is really having a down year. I had to pick up Conforto to make up for one of the outfielders, Lane Thomas, who's injured. We know Berger is injured. And we've got Snell injured over here. And, of course, I picked up, I picked up Griffin Jacks. And I don't know. It's okay. It's working out fine, I suppose. It was working out great, but right now it's just meh. But anyways, keep your heads up on the teams that are doing poor. Don't get too proud of the teams that are doing well because they could still get some injuries too. Injuries happen the whole year through. But if you're probably at 75% in the playoffs right now, I'd wager most of you are. I'm happy I've got these 3 teams in first place, but I understand that can change. We've got a long way until the playoffs start. So keep your eyes on the prize. It's at the end of the season. You want to win the playoffs, not the regular season. Winning the playoffs is how you get the money. And that's why we're here, fellas. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I'll update you again in about a week. Random City Sports Ballers.